Okay, so I want to show everybody this new video you put out, show in real time the functionality of Panquake and how critical it is for people to see, because everyone's always asking what are the updates, what are the updates, and this is why we wanted to have you on, is to show everybody in real time what we got.
Hey everyone, it's time to have a talk about Panquake.
Panquake is a social media application where the user is the customer, not the product.
As you can see, Panquake is way past being an idea. It's real and it's working. We're using it to talk to you right now.
Panquake is a game changer. Your lifeboat away from big tech censorship, suppression, and manipulation. A lifeboat where you can bring your friends, family, and everyone you care about with you.
Panquake helps you build a following that won't be taken away from you. Your donations to Panquake cement your own future ability to speak and be heard. Your donations help us to get Panquake to you sooner.
Unlike any other social media service, on Panquake, your account data is stored safely on your device, not on our network. Big tech is marketing your data every day because your data is valuable. We believe your data should only be yours, and that's why we don't collect it.
Panquake is user-funded social media replacing user-exploiting social media. Only a year since we started coding, the Panquake application is nearly built. Your amazing support through our first 2 funding rounds got us to this point. Now is the moment to polish off phase 3 and deliver.
Your voice and your support are the most potent tools we have in this fight to increase the power of users and diminish the institutional power of big tech. We have great people waiting in the wings to take on service roles, delivering Panquake to you and supporting your use of the platform going forward.
Panquake is a unique solution for you, driven by you, and controlled by you. New, innovative, next-generation social media. Soon, it will be you using Panquake to type your way to freedom of communication, freedom of expression, and freedom of speech. Lift your voice today. Spread this video everywhere. Donate today. Because we don't hope, we build. Head to panquake.com/donate now.
So that was pretty awesome because you guys did that in real time, basically. Whoa, sorry, that's
the world knew about it. Still fighting for equality.
So yeah, we just watched that was you and John Kiriakou and Cherie, I believe, and Sean O'Brien, all just using it in real time. So what is it? What does this mean for everybody?
That was the real deal application. So one of the things that we did, one of the decisions we made, which I'm really very proud of because it's not how every other software company does it, is we didn't build a demo. We built the actual application. And I had people trying to get me to show them a demo. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to waste months of development time making a demo to impress people with. We're going to build the actual application. And that was absolutely the right decision to make. So what you're seeing there is the actual Panquake front end that our users will be using and typing into, which we have been working extremely hard to develop. We started coding 1 year ago, and now after 1 year, we're at the point where you can see it in action. There's a couple of other videos too that are floating around now of us using Panquake. There's one of Sean at Yale in the privacy lab using Panquake on a mobile phone. So if you want to check that out, you can see what Panquake looks like on mobile. It's pretty awesome. There's another video I did me actually watching YouTube videos in a Panquake timeline, and I'm showing all the functionality of that. But I'm also talking about a really amazing world first innovation. Actually, there's no other social media platform that does it. We have integrated a special service in Panquake that allows you to watch YouTube videos or to embed tweets from Twitter into your Panquake timeline, and it puts like a protective wall between your connection and Google and Twitter, so they don't capture any of your data when you're watching that content on the Panquake timeline. So we have so usually if there's a YouTube video embedded somewhere or a tweet embedded somewhere, like in a news article on a website or something like that, or on Facebook or some other social media application, when you are clicking on that video and interacting with it, it's capturing your user data, it's adding it to your like personalization profile, marketing profile that they have of you. And even though you're not on Twitter's website or you're not on YouTube's website, they're capturing all that data. And on Panquake, we have managed to engineer it so that they get nothing from you when you watch a YouTube video or look at a tweet, and you can interact with them on Panquake.
That's fantastic. That's one of the things I've loved about this is you because you've been targeted and throttled and censored, you amassed a team of people who've been targeted and throttled and censored. So you really went into this is how they do it. How do we do it differently? And because even some of these other, Rumble and these other ones, they claim they're all about freedom of speech or whatever, but it's whatever. They're still collecting data. It's still a billionaire who keeps
they're big tech light. That's what it is.
They're just big tech light. Exactly. That, if they want to censor you or throttle you, they can. And there's no transparency because it's not on the blockchain. So they could be doing stuff behind the scenes that you have no idea. And, I could have just had somebody at Rumble that's a hard right winger or an anti, whatever, that doesn't like my anti-war stance. And that's why I was having tech issues. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll never know. So that's why this, every 6 months to a year, everybody's like, oh, we got to go to this one, go to that one. And I was like, is it going to, and
then eventually get sold to the big tech companies anyway. And then you're back to square one.
Right.
Like this happened with GitHub and Microsoft. Like for years, open source coders were posting their code into GitHub, this application to allow developers to access code from other developers and other projects. And Microsoft just came along and threw billions of dollars at it, sucked up all the code, said thank you very much, and walked off with it. Like this is
wow.
It's what you're up against.
Yeah, that's what you're up against. And so I know I've asked you this before, but since we've seen the functionality and we're Panquake is very close to being like ready for users to buy. First of all, explain to us how it's impossible for Panquake to get bought out. Let's say you launch Panquake, it's popular, everybody's loving it. And then, Google or whoever, the CIA, whatever, wants to come buy it and turn it into, Facebook Lite or whatever. How does that happen? How do you prevent that?
Well, we are a private company registered in a jurisdiction very far away from jurisdictions that would be problematic. And we have constitutionally agreed since day one that the company will not be sold for any amount of money, no matter what amount of money it is. And we've gone a step further than that as well, and that's that we refuse. We do not take a single dollar from any corporation, any government, or any security agency, no matter which corporation, no matter which government, no matter which whatever. So Elon Musk's money is no good here. And I've said as much openly on Twitter. We've had actually hundreds of our supporters trying to convince Elon to contribute to Panquake or to invest in Panquake. And we've said, sorry, no billionaires. Because I'm sorry, I'm sure, okay, Elon, you might be a really nice guy. Maybe you're a really nice guy. Even though you do some crazy shit, maybe you're a really nice guy. But the billionaire class, which 6 of them now own half of the world's wealth or something, it's some ridiculous number. They are not the solution to the problems that we face, or those solutions would have been implemented. So we together are the solutions. Those of us who are struggling, who are being censored, who are being denied a voice, we are the ones that will solve the problems that we are facing. We can't look to our oppressors to solve our problems for us, because they won't. They will always act in their own interests, primarily and fundamentally. Because if they didn't act in their own interests, they would be kicked out of the billionaires club. Like that, they would be gone. So to maintain their own status and their own standing in their own social groups, they have to play along with the agendas, or they are out on their ass. So we ourselves have to focus on solutions. And I mean, I've been thinking a lot about this actually. I spent a lot of time thinking about the point that I'm about to relay to you right now. I've just spent 12 years screaming from the rooftops, digging up information, passing along information, trying to educate people, saying this is a problem, that's a problem, this other thing's a problem, here's the evidence that it's a problem, we should be upset about this, we should be outraged about this, we should do something about this. But in all that time, okay, maybe with the exception of Uni4J, but in all that time, I didn't really have solutions to the problems. I just had problems. And it's important to talk about problems, and it's important to educate other people about problems. But if it's not coupled with a pathway to doing something about it, then we're kind of just pissing into the wind, really. And I look around for solutions. I'm looking like, who else is solving problems right now? Like, where are the solutions? And I love all of these YouTube channels that we all follow. I watch them every single day, but I don't see solutions on them. What I see is outrage. I see, oh, this person said the shocking thing. Oh, this person did the shocking thing. Oh my God, look at this terrible piece of news. The world is ending. Well, yeah, it is terrible and the world is ending, but how about we get off our fucking asses and work together and actually solve it? And yes, that means dedicating ridiculous amounts of hours to advancing that cause, but it's worth it. And we need to do it because we are, like I said, our oppressors are not coming to save us. Our oppressors are not coming to fix the problem of us being censored and silenced. So we ourselves have got to do that. And I see so many people saying like, when can I get Panquake? When can I get Panquake? Well, we put that video out to show people Panquake is real and we have been building it this whole time. And here's the evidence of that. You can now see for yourself, it's a real thing. It's not just an idea anymore. It's not just something we could do. It's something we are doing, and here's the product, here's the result. But in order for us to be able to properly deliver that and support it in a responsible way, because we do need customer support reps, we do need content moderators, we do need 24/7 technical support staff who can do something about it if shit goes wrong. We do need like support mechanisms internally, and we do need to actually be able to properly market it and let people know it exists and that why they should be a part of it. We have to complete our fundraising campaign. And I don't want to look to billionaires for that money, and I refuse to look for billionaires for that money. I refuse to look to governments or security agencies or anyone else, because we all know where that leads. Where that would lead is straight back to big tech, straight back to censorship, straight back to a rotten structure which will not serve us. So what we must have is a movement of everyday ordinary people who see, oh my God, in a world that is falling to pieces, here is a solution. Here is an extremely rare opportunity to solve massive problems that are plaguing us. And right now, people, I get it, people are literally being starved to death right now. Like literally starved out by the hundreds of millions, if not the billions. But you can actually advance Panquake without even paying money. If you have something to contribute to the crowdfunding campaign, do it, because it gets us closer to putting Panquake in your hands. But if you don't, your voice and your time is actually in many ways more valuable than donating. If you just spend 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week, actively taking links to Panquake's content and sending it to content creators and saying, cover solutions, platform solutions. Don't just tell me about problems. Tell me about solutions. I want to see this on your channel. Your audiences need to know about this. This is key to your future as content creators. Get out there and advocate for us, because we don't have a PR team. We don't have some corporation that we pay money to, which goes and gets us published in magazines, or we're not able to buy TV ads and tell people about Panquake. We are 100% people powered, people funded. And we have had so many people volunteer to get us to this point, because if we had had to pay everybody full time to do their roles, we would have never made it this far. So we have people, there's people in chat right now who have given their time, their attention, their care, their love to get Panquake to where it is right now. And for us to get through the next step, we've got to complete that phase 3. So the crowdfunder, panquake.com/donate. We've had 3 phases. Phase 1 was set up the business. We did that. We set up a very sound, international, far away from US jurisdiction, multinational structure. And that is what secures Panquake at that level. Secondarily, for phase 2, we raised the money to build Panquake. And you can see, lo and behold, we've built it. Phase 3 is deliver. And that's where we have to be able to employ our service teams and deliver. So every dollar to the campaign gets us closer, but more importantly, your words and your time and your messages and your advocacy for us. And Graham, you're the prime example, because you've supported us from day 1 and never stopped. Never stopped. You've platformed us over and over and over and over and over again, because you knew this was the real deal. And we've proven you right. We've proven that you're right to do that. Everybody else now needs to get on board and be our PR team and be our media team. I see people, sorry, I'm just going to quickly answer the people who are asking questions, if that's okay. Just
Sure.
Someone saying they don't think it's open source. Panquake is free and open source software. With the beta, we are not just publishing a white paper, which we are publishing, and also a marketing white paper as well as a technical white paper, but we are publishing our entire code base, not on GitHub. We'll be using a FOSS code repository. So yes, you will be able to download, run, test, extend Panquake code yourself. You'll be able to security and pen test it. You'll be able to do whatever you want to do with it. Sean O'Brien is our FOSS specialist. If you doubt our team's ability to produce a high quality code base, I urge you to go and look at WL Dragnet release that we did about 4 months ago. We did an extremely high quality open source release of a software tool from our dev team. So you can go and see the standard to which we'll publish at, which is an extremely high standard. Our standard of documentation is very, very high as well. So it's FOSS, and you will be able to also we'll have a third-party developer API. So you'll also be able to work with and extend Panquake as well. Sorry, I just want to answer that question. And one more thing is that we are interoperable with the Fediverse. I'm sick of hearing from people, oh, why don't you just use Mastodon? Panquake is interoperable with Mastodon. It's interoperable with all of the Hive social media applications. We're actually adding to the potency and size of the Fediverse. We're not competing with it.
That's excellent.
Sorry, go for it.
No, I'm glad you answered. You answered the questions that are popping up in the chat, because they're good questions to ask, and it's great to get a solid answer from you. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've always, since the inception of this show, I've always tried to offer some type of solution, even at the end of my videos, of like, this is, I do at least 1 or 2 climate change videos a week, and I talk about stuff we can do on a personal level. But it is frustrating, and I've told my audience recently, no one's coming. There's no one's coming to save you. Not Bernie Sanders, not the Squad. Nobody's coming. It's not the People's Party, not the Green Party. And I like those independent parties, but they're not coming. No one's coming to rescue you. They don't have it's not the infrastructure in the American political system is so stacked against you and so corrupt. You just can't do it. So, but we do need real solutions. And when I see like all of these mainly young people getting over 100 Starbucks unionized, I go, see, there are solutions out there. That's a grassroots, people powered. Those are regular kids. They're not like billionaires. These are just kids making minimum wage going, why am I getting minimum wage when this cup of coffee costs $7, and these billionaires are reaping the rewards of my labor. And so, you're seeing what happens when people get together and go, wait a minute, you're seeing what Chris Malls did with the Amazon workers.
Great example. That is a classic and rare, unfortunately, but classic example of action versus helplessness.
Yeah. And to tie it into Panquake as well, I mean, I learn about whatever news Starbucks got unionized every day on Twitter. And I'm sure that Starbucks is trying to throttle that, but that's how all these kids figured out about it. They're like, well, wait a minute. They're seeing this store in this other state or 2 towns over, they just unionized. Why can't we do that? And so that's what the initial idea of social media was supposed to be about, is we could this free flowing interchange and exchange of ideas between people from all over the country and the planet that would never have normally met each other. I mean, you and I met doing Unity for Jay, and so that's why they have to censor it, big tech companies, because like, we can't let the people be making decisions. We need these 6 billionaires to make all the decisions or whatever. So it's why it's very critical, and they are solution based. And I mean, I personally in the last year have become pretty despondent in terms of just seeing what indie left YouTube has become, is basically just a TMZ bitching about, like, oh my God, like what Ryan Grimm said on his Twitter me talking about that isn't going to end climate collapse. So like we need real solutions. We're on the brink of World War III with Russia, where America is literally not could, but we're in the early stages of a civil war. If you look at a historical timeline of civil wars, we're in the early stages of one. And, oh, by the way, the human race is facing complete extinction from climate collapse. So, I just did a video, the Salt Lake, Utah's Salt Lake has a third of the water that it should. And then the dust from the dry lake bed has arsenic in it. And so when there's dust storms that literally can shut down Salt Lake City, there's people breathing arsenic, which causes a myriad of respiratory and cancer-based problems. I bring that up because those are that's what we're facing right now. That's what we're looking at. And it's so-and-so said this about so-and-so on so-and-so's YouTube show, is preposterous. Or I'm watching The Rising debating fucking transgender names and pronouns. Like, who gives a shit? I mean, like, really? Like, this is what we're bitching about. And so I love that Panquake has real solutions backed by people like yourself, like John Kiriakou, like Bill Binney, people who are involved, who are inside the system. So, I mean, John and Bill, have been completely targeted. Their lives have been upended because they made a decision to do the right thing, which is always more detrimental than good when you make a decision to do the right thing as a whistleblower. So it's important that Panquake is, as I see it, a little bit of a life raft to get us out of this, because it could, when it's up and running, it could change things in ways that we could actually have free flowing ideas. We could actually know, I would actually know what my fans would actually know what I'm doing. It's literally like Ron Placone said, it's like subscribing to a physical copy of Rolling Stone, and then Rolling Stone decides they're not going to deliver it to everybody's house because maybe everyone doesn't want it, which is basically what YouTube does when it doesn't notify everybody when I go live. All of my subscribers want to be notified when I go live, but YouTube doesn't do it. So, I'm glad that you have been digging in, and for the last, God, we're 2 years now of when you first told me about it, and you've built a team of people, and it's been funded by the people. Like, I call this the people's channel. And that's what Panquake is. It's the people's social media. So everybody out there, if you haven't supported it, please do, and share it on your social media. So Suzie, where can people go to support what you're doing to get you over this final hump?
Panquake.com/donate. Absolutely. If you're able to donate, that's how we will raise the money to deliver the product and complete phase 3. In terms of general support, though, learn about Panquake.